The barbarian charges down the zombie, wrapping it up in a grapple just as the rogue rushes by and decapitates it with a flourish. The necromancer, seeing its minion beheaded, casts invisibility to escape. The ranger fires their bow and arrow at where the wizard was a moment ago, and watches as the arrow lodges into the invisible figure. Knowing now where their quarry is, the cleric drives their mace into the side of the necromancer's head, knocking them unconscious for questioning later. On today's D&D Academy, we're covering the special combat rules. Welcome back to D&D Academy. My name is Paul, and I'm the Dungeon Master here at House of Crit. Combat in D&D is mostly a flurry of moving, attacking, and spellcasting, but there's a myriad of special rules that can come into play as well that didn't neatly fit into any of our other video topics, so we'll cover them today. In no particular order, they are opportunity attacks, two-weapon fighting, grappling, shoving, knocking a creature out, mounted, and underwater combat. First, let's cover opportunity attacks. In a fight, everyone is constantly watching for enemies to drop their guard. You can rarely move heedlessly past your foes without putting yourself in danger. Doing so provokes an opportunity attack. You can make an opportunity attack when a hostile creature that you can see moves out of your reach. To make an opportunity attack, you use your reaction to make one melee attack against the provoking creature. The attack interrupts the provoking creature's movement, occurring right before the creature leaves your reach. You can avoid provoking an opportunity attack by taking the disengage action. You also don't provoke an opportunity attack when you teleport, or when someone or something moves you without using your movement, action, or reaction. For example, you don't provoke an opportunity attack if an explosion hurls you out of a foe's reach, or if gravity causes you to fall past an enemy. Next up, two-weapon fighting. When you take the attack action and attack with a light melee weapon that you're holding in one hand, you can use a bonus action to attack with a different light melee weapon you're holding in the other hand. The light weapon property is something we'll go over in our upcoming weapons video. You don't add your ability modifier to the damage of the bonus attack, unless that modifier is negative, unfortunately. If either weapon has the thrown property, you can throw the weapon instead of making a melee attack with it. Moving on, let's cover grappling and shoving. When you want to grab a creature or wrestle with it, you can use the attack action to make a special melee attack called a grapple. If you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them. The target of your grapple must be no more than one size larger than you, and it must be within your reach. Using at least one free hand, you try to seize the target by making a grapple check, which is a strength athletics check contested by the target's strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics check. Unlike an ability check, anytime there is an ability contest, you must exceed the target's check. Matching their check is not enough. The target chooses the ability to use. If you succeed, you subject the target to the grappled condition. A grappled creature's speed becomes 0, and it cannot benefit from any bonus to its speed. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if an effect removes the grappled creature from the reach of the grappler or grappling effect, such as when a creature is hurled away by a spell. You can release the target whenever you like, no action required. A grappled creature can use its action to attempt to escape. To do so, it must succeed on a strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics check contested by your strength athletics check. When you move, you can drag or carry the grappled creature with you, but your speed is halved unless the creature is 2 or more sizes smaller than you. Alternatively, using the attack action, you can make a special melee attack to shove a creature, either to knock it prone or push it away from you. Like grappling, if you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them. The target of your shove must be no more than one size larger than you, and it must also be within your reach. You make a strength athletics check contested by the target's strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics check. Again, the target chooses which ability to use. If you win the contest, you either knock the target prone or push it 5 feet away from you. And last on the list of special attacks, sometimes an attacker wants to incapacitate a foe rather than deal a killing blow to them. When an attacker reduces a creature to 0 hit points with a melee attack, the attacker can knock the creature out. The attacker can make this choice the instant the damage is dealt. The creature then falls unconscious and is stable. Now, not all combat takes place on the ground or on your own 2 feet, so let's cover mounted and underwater combat. A willing creature that is at least one size larger than you and has an appropriate anatomy can serve as a mount using the following rules. Once, during your move, you can mount a creature that is within 5 feet of you or dismount. Doing so costs an amount of movement equal to half your speed. For example, if your speed is 30 feet, you must spend 15 feet of movement to mount a horse. Therefore, you cannot mount if you do not have 15 feet of movement left or if your speed has been reduced to 0. If an effect moves your mount against its will while you're on it, you must succeed on a DC 10 dexterity saving throw or fall off the mount, landing prone in a space within 5 feet of it. If you're knocked prone while mounted, you must make the same saving throw. If your mount is knocked prone, you can use your reaction to dismount as it falls and land on your feet. Otherwise, you are dismounted and fall prone in a space within 5 feet of it. While you're mounted, you have 2 options. You can either control the mount or allow it to act independently. Intelligent creatures, such as dragons, always act independently. You can control a mount only if it has been trained to accept a rider. Animals such as domesticated horses, donkeys, and similar beasts have been assumed to have such training. The initiative of a controlled mount changes to match yours when you mount it. It moves as you direct it, and it only has 3 action options: dash, disengage, and dodge. A controlled mount can move and act even on the turn that you mount it. An independent mount retains its place in the initiative order. Bearing a rider puts no restrictions on the actions the mount can take, and it moves and acts as it wishes. It might flee from combat, rush to attack and devour a badly injured foe, or otherwise act against your wishes. In either case, if the mount provokes an opportunity attack while you're on it, the attacker can target you or the mount. When adventurers pursue monsters back to their undersea homes, fight off sharks in an ancient shipwreck, or find themselves in a flooded dungeon room, they must fight in a challenging environment, and the underwater rules apply. When making a melee weapon attack underwater, a creature that does not have a swimming speed, either natural or granted by magic, has disadvantage on the attack roll unless the weapon is a dagger, javelin, short sword, spear, or trident. A ranged weapon automatically misses a target beyond the weapon's normal range. Even against a target within normal range, the attack roll has disadvantage unless the weapon is a crossbow, a net, or a weapon that is thrown like a javelin. This includes a spear, trident, or dart. Creatures and objects that are fully immersed in water have resistance to fire damage. And that finally finishes all the rules of combat in D&D. It's been a journey, but we made it through. Next video, we'll be taking it easy with resting. Thank you for joining me down today in the dungeon, and if these videos have helped you out, consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons down below, and possibly sharing these videos with your gaming groups. I'll be back next Wednesday with another D&D Academy video, so see you all soon.